Have you ever found yourself walking down a toy aisle and thought, buying this could actually fund my next vacation? I mean, it sounds totally crazy, right? But the reality is that the collector's market has completely transformed. Today, we're looking at the surprising financial upside of adult Lego collecting in the year 2026. And trust me, this isn't just about nostalgia anymore. For a lot of people, it's becoming a legitimate alternative asset class. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to map out the entire 2026 LEGO landscape in this explainer. This year has already proven to be absolutely massive for LEGO enthusiasts. We're seeing incredible smart play innovations, really intricate adult icons that you actually want to display, and a totally thriving secondary market. So whether you're a beginner trying to figure out how to start or a seasoned builder looking for that next big thing, we're going to break down exactly how to build your dream collection and do it smartly. The concept of beyond the Lego brick, it perfectly captures how this company has fundamentally evolved. It's stepped way beyond just being a colorful plastic brick in a child's playroom. It's really become this highly curated, intentional adult hobby. The 18-plus lines they drop now, they deliver premium builds featuring complex techniques, rich storytelling, and aesthetics that are literally designed for your living room shelf or your office desk. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the smart collector strategy, move into essential storage practices, look at the best budget gifts under $50, and finally, we'll uncover which retiring sets are actually worth real money. Starting right off with Section 1, the smart collector strategy. You see, the biggest hurdle for new collectors isn't actually building the sets, it's navigating the overwhelming sheer number of choices out there. Setting strict intentions and a firm budget are your first major achievements in this space. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this fantastic piece of advice from the LEGO fan media outlet Brick Banter. They urge prospective collectors to research thoroughly to avoid buying a castle when you really wanted a spaceship. It sounds super simple, right? But collector's remorse is incredibly common. When you see a massive, shiny box on a shelf, it's just so easy to get caught up in the hype. But honestly, if your true passion is sci-fi, that beautifully intricate medieval castle is ultimately just going to collect dust. An impulse buy might bring you a really quick thrill, but it's usually followed by the frustration of a chaotic, mismatched display. On the flip side, waiting for that perfect spaceship builds toward a curated, highly satisfying collection. A curated collection tells a story about who you are and what you love, rather than just showing off a random assortment of plastic. To avoid that impulse trap, you really want to stick to a crucial rule of 3. First, set a firm budget. Second, restrict yourself to picking just 1 or 2 themes, whether that's Star Wars, architecture, Lord of the Rings, or those really cool botanicals. Picking themes keeps you from feeling totally overwhelmed. And third, monitor LEGO's coming soon page like a hawk, because limited edition sets sell out incredibly fast. When you set a savings goal for a specific dream set and you finally secure it, that purchase transforms from a random transaction into a genuine milestone. Moving on to Section 2. Essential LEGO storage practices. Because once you've acquired those sets, if you're going to put time, effort, and money into curating a beautiful collection, you absolutely must treat it like an investment by storing it like one. Now, if you take away only one thing here, it's to avoid the chaotic pile. We've all seen it, the giant plastic bin filled with thousands of loose, jumbled bricks. That's how a kid stores their toys. But as an adult collector, a chaotic pile is the absolute enemy of preservation. It causes scratches, you lose exclusive minifigures, and it completely ruins the aesthetic value of your hobby. We've got to elevate the practice. The solutions here are straightforward but incredibly effective. First up, invest in proper shelving so your completed sets actually have room to breathe and look good on display. Second, use dedicated partitioned drawers for your loose parts so you can actually find what you need. But perhaps the most vital strategy in your entire storage and collection plan, practicing patience. Seriously, patience is a collector's greatest secret weapon. Sold-out sets very often restock, and secondary market gems that seem way overpriced right now frequently drop in price if you just wait it out a bit. Which brings us to Section 3, best gifts under $50. We've talked grand strategies and storage, but what about budget-friendly building? You don't have to break the bank to participate in this hobby in 2026. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. Look at the value packed into these affordable Star Wars sets. For just $9.99, you can get the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike. That includes 2 major minifigures for under $10. Then you've got Grogu's homestead at $19.99, which is an excellent entry-level diorama. For the army builders out there, the Siege of Mandalore Battle Pack sits perfectly at $22.99, and Cole Van Speeder rounds out the list at $34.99 with some highly appealing exclusive minifigure prints. The piece-to-price ratios here show you can gift or collect excellent quality licensed kits without ever crossing that $50 threshold. All right, let's get into Section 4, retiring sets worth real money. Now we're shifting into the most high-stakes section, financial speculation. Identifying retiring sets means keeping a close eye on LEGO's official last chance page and tracking sets approaching their typical 2-year shelf life. We are tracking specific sets highlighted by sources like Game Rant that are retiring soon and have the historical potential to literally double in price on the secondary market. Let's move to and see how this builds our investment pyramid. We're starting at a premium yet completely accessible entry point of $164.99. At this tier, you're really looking for licensed sets with a highly unique design that likely won't be remade. At that price point, we have the Dune Artreides Royal Ornithopter. This set boasts 1,369 pieces and a massive 8 exclusive minifigures. So why is this a smart investment? Well, because it retires on July 31st and it's a completely unique build. There are virtually no alternatives for this specific vehicle from Denis Villeneuve's cinematic universe. And that lack of alternatives, that is exactly what drives up resale prices once a set leaves the official store shelves. From there, we step up the financial weight significantly to our next tier, $359.99. When you cross the $300 mark, you're looking for massive display pieces tied to dedicated, highly engaged fandoms. For that price, you're looking at the Dungeons & Dragons Red Dragon's Tale. At an incredible 3,800 pieces, this one is also scheduled to retire on July 31st. Historically, large-scale fantasy sets appreciate incredibly well, especially when they tie into cultural phenomenons. In this case, it's riding the massive wave of popularity from the video game Baldur's Gate 3. When this multi-level tavern and dungeon set is gone, collectors who missed out are very likely going to pay a steep premium for it. Let's continue building the scale. We are now entering true premium territory at $649.99. At this level, we're dealing with the Ultimate Collector Series models. These are the undisputed centerpieces of any collection. This hefty price tag belongs to the Ultimate Collector Series Venator-class Republic attack cruiser. Guys, we are talking about an absolute behemoth here. Over 5,000 pieces, stretching more than 43 inches long, complete with exclusive Captain Rex and Admiral Yularen figures. The investment logic here is super strong. Much smaller, earlier versions of the Venator currently sell for several times their original retail price, so a master-level UCS version like this, it's a prime candidate for massive future growth. And finally, we hit the absolute peak of our price tier pyramid, $849.99. This is reserved for the absolute holy grails of the LEGO universe. This is for the UCS Millennium Falcon. It's the white whale for so many builders out there. It's a 7,500-piece dream set that appeals equally to fans of the original trilogy and the sequel eras. Historically, previous iterations of this exact ship have sold for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on the secondary market. It is literally the ultimate collector's achievement, and it is poised for serious growth the very second LEGO announces its final retirement date. So the crucial point is this. The LEGO ecosystem in 2026 is incredibly dynamic. It begs the question, are you building for fun today or for your future tomorrow? Well, the brilliant thing about this hobby is that it can actually be both. By doing your research, focusing on themes that spark genuine joy, organizing your storage, and keeping a close eye on those retirement schedules, you can build a collection that is deeply, personally meaningful and potentially highly valuable. Happy building, and I'll catch you on the next one.